I have a problem. Hey beautiful people, welcome or welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Crystal. This is One Book Reviews and I hope you've already subscribed. If you haven't, the button's down below because I would love to have you join the fam. Today we're going to be jumping into another book haul. I'm just going to insert a little clip here. Do you remember back in January when I put up my 2022 reading goals and I said this? That is my priority. And I would love to get my owned TBR, so my physical TBR, down to less than 350 books. Yeah, well, it's not going so well because in the month of February alone, I added 25 books to my shelf, my physical TBR, and I only read 6 books off my physical TBR. So I'm kind of counterintuitive in this. Let me know in the comments down below if you think that I should go on a book buying ban for the month of March and just like halt buying new books. I mean, to be fair, this is totally my friend Hannah's fault. Yesterday we went book shopping for the first time in like 12 months because of the pandemic and her being pregnant and me being pregnant, and so she's just got a newborn baby and it was our first little outing and I just went a little bit crazy because the bookshop was having sales. And yeah, so we went to a secondhand bookshop and then we also went to a charity shop as well where all the books were $1. And at the secondhand bookshop, everything was like $5. And so I went a little crazy. So I've got 25 books for you today that I have acquired. Not all of them are from that haul yesterday. Some of them were from earlier in the month. But yes, let's just dive on in because we do have a lot to get through. I was going to kind of separate these into like different genres and stuff and have it time stamped, but the stack is just too big. It's too intimidating. We're just going to jump on in, and you need to let me know in the comments down below if any of these need to be prioritized, if any of these were a really stupid purchase and I should just not have done it, or if any of them were on your TBRs. So let's jump on in, and we are just going to start with the top of the pile and hope the pile doesn't fall over, and that is Who Did You Tell by Leslie Cara. So this is actually, has a special place in my heart, Leslie Cara does, because her book, The Rumor, was one of the first books that I ever reviewed on my Instagram page when I created a bookstagram. So this is her new one and I'm just excited to read it. I really loved The Rumor. I had a lot of fun with it. It was one of the first books I reviewed. So I thought it was only fair that I pick up her new one and give it a shot. I had absolutely no idea what this is about. All I know is that it is from Leslie Cara and it's a thriller. So that is book number 1. Book number 2 is another, bought it because of the author, not because I actually know what the story is about. And that is The Place on Dalhousie? Yeah, the Place on Dalhousie. This is from the author of Looking for Alibrandi, who is Melina Marthella. I read Looking for Alibrandi in high school and still to this day sticks with me. I absolutely loved it. I had a great time. So I bought this, 1, because stunning cover, and 2, because that author wrote it. So I really loved Looking for Alibrandi, so I figured why not give another book by the same author a shot. So that is book number 2. I have recently fallen back in love with historical fiction. If you are unfamiliar, I do have a podcast that I co-host. I will have it linked down below so you can go and check it out. And in the month, for the next 3 months, we'll be focusing on historical fiction as like our genre for the next 3 months. And talking about it and recording things about historical fiction has made me like want to pick some historical fiction back up. And yesterday when I went to the charity shop, they had like someone who'd clearly done like a huge historical fiction donation and they were all $1. And so I went a little crazy and got a bunch of historical fiction and thrillers. That's mainly what's on this list, and fantasy. So the first one is The Light After the War by Anita Abriel. This one actually follows a woman who escapes a train that's on its way to Auschwitz. So she actually like gets away, and it's like the story of her life following escaping that. I don't know anything else. I literally read the byline, inspired by the true story of one woman's extraordinary journey to forge a new life after escaping a train bound for Auschwitz. And I was like, sounds like everything I need, and grabbed it and put it on my list. So yeah, that's pretty much all you need to know about that and why I chose it, because historical fiction and the byline caught me. Next up, we have Pretty Baby by Mary Kubikia. No, Kubika. She is the author of the new one that everyone's talking about at the moment, whose name I've totally forgotten. 6 something. I'll put the title up here. And it was literally a matter of, it was $1 and it was from an author of a thriller that everyone is talking about at the moment that they really, really enjoyed. And I love thrillers, so I figured why not pick it up and give it a shot. I didn't even read what this is about, so let's find out together. All I saw was that if you like Gone Girl, you like this one, and that's enough. But oh, okay. So Heidi Woods is a person who usually takes in stray cats, but one day she comes home with a teenage girl named Willow and her 4-month-old baby in tow. Despite the family's objections, she wants to keep them there to stay, and then all this stuff happens and I can just see it going absolutely crazy. Excuse me. So yeah, I love thrillers that involve like babies. I don't know why, but thrillers that involve children are always like 10 times creepier than any other thriller to me. So I'm curious to see how this one goes. Now we have another historical fiction, and that is You'll Never See Me Again by Leslie Pierce. Now this is actually a historical fiction that is a thriller from what I can understand. It's based in 1917 and it follows a woman who is fleeing Bristol and changing her name to seek a new life, but like everything goes wrong. So pretty much this was a cover buy. I looked at it and went yes, and then I scanned it and Goodreads said that it had like a pretty good rating, and some people that I knew I'd liked their opinion had read it and said that they liked it, so I just kind of was like, $1, why not? This next book I already have the audiobook for as well as the ebook, so I figured why not get the trifecta and also get the physical copy, because I have a physical copy of all this author's other books. I figured I wanted to add it to my collection, and that's Jane Harper, and this is The Survivors. If you are new to this channel, Jane Harper is one of my fave Australian thriller writers. She does like outback thrillers, and yeah, she does a really good job. I loved The Dry. It's one of my favorites by her. This is one of her new ones. I have heard mixed reviews about this, so I'm a little cautious. I know that my book club read it. I didn't get around to it when they did, and it split the book club, and not a lot of people were really happy with it. But I wanted to add the physical copy to my collection anyways, so for $1, I figured why not. Another $1 historical fiction, we have The Women's Pages by Victoria Pernman, which this one follows the Australian women post-war. So I don't read a lot of historical fictions that are based in Australia. A lot of the ones that I read are usually in like the European World War I, World War II kind of time frame. So I was excited to read something a little bit closer to home, and so that's pretty much the only reason why I picked it up, was that it followed the story of Australians post-war, which, you know, you don't really read a lot about. So that's why I grabbed this one. This next one was to continue collecting a series that I have not even started yet, but you know me, true fashion, finish the whole series, collecting the whole series and then start it. And that is Magnus Chase and the Hammer of Thor by Rick Riordan. So this is book 2 in the Magnus Chase series. And yeah, it was at the secondhand bookshop for $7, so I figured why not get it and add it to that collection, because it's in the edition that I wanted to have the collectional match, which I do struggle to find in Australia, because usually a lot of them Rick Riordan books come out in like the smaller editions, but I wanted it to be in the big one because that's what I have Magnus Chase book 1 in. So it was a good find. Next up, we have an ARC that was at a secondhand bookshop actually, and that is Spin the Dawn by Elizabeth Lim, which I love Elizabeth Lim. I love her writing. I've heard nothing but good things about Spin the Dawn. It was actually on my wish list, so I managed to pick that up at the secondhand bookshop for $6, so I figured why not? This next one, I have actually never heard anybody talk about, but I saw the cover and I instantly thought of Gav. I don't know why, but I just thought Gav from How to Train Your Gavin would have read this and loved it. But when I looked on Goodreads, he hadn't mentioned it. No one I knew had mentioned it, but it sounds like right up my alley. So I figured I would pick it up, and that's a middle grade called The Boy, the Wolf and the Stars. And it follows a character who, him and his little fox go on an adventure to find a missing wolf. And it says 4 friends, 3 keys, 1 magical quest. So not only does it involve like my 2 favorite animals, wolves and foxes, but like that I love to read about, but it also has like a magical element to it, as well as like a found family friendship. So yeah, I couldn't walk away from it. Next, we got Instructions for Dancing by Nicola Yoon, because lately the romance contemporary kind of genre has really been like where my brain has been like leaning towards. So I saw it and had seen it talked about a lot on YouTube and Instagram and TikTok and everywhere. And so I had FOMO, so I couldn't walk out the door without it. I had someone say to me the other day that, I saw a TikTok, I think it was, and it was something along the lines of, if you love this book, then you'd love this one. And they put up a book that I loved, which I can't even remember what book it was, and said if I loved that book, then I would love The Gwenevere Deception by Kirsten White. So when I saw it, I had to get it. Now this is a ARC copy, so it's not the completed copy, so hopefully it's not too much different to the actual story. But yes, I have heard good things, and people have said to me that I will like it based on me liking this other book, which I mentally can't think of at the moment. But yeah, so The Gwenevere Deception is book number, I don't even know anymore. This next one was a Becca made me buy from Becca and the Books. And that is White Stag. Now, I don't know whether it's her or Jade from JD Ray Reads, but I've heard one of them talk about this in a really positive light, and that they think that it is one of those underappreciated fantasies that needs to be talked about more. And I saw it and was like, this cover is stunning. I've heard nothing but good things about it. Know nothing about it, like half the books that I read. But yeah, I know that it's the first in a series, and I know that it is a fantasy-based thriller romance, I want to say. I don't know. Anyways, I had to grab it because I had seen it talked about and it sounds like something that I would be interested in, and because who doesn't need more series on their shelves? Next up is another, bought it because of the author, and that is Patrick Ness, and it is More Than This. This cover like just totally trips me out. I think it is so well done. It is such a basic plain cover, but it has so much, it's like so eye-catching, like you can't help but just, I don't know, draw you in. And then I read like reviews of people on Goodreads. I really trust Goodreads a lot when I go shopping. I always have my phone on me so I can like scan the back of a book, bring up this book, see who else has read it and see what they thought. And that really like it helps guide my book purchases. I a lot of the time don't read the synopsis because I prefer to go in completely blind, but I go based on what other people have said about it and their thoughts, because I trust what they like and what I've liked that they've liked in the past. I hope that makes sense. So Patrick Ness, More Than This is a bought it because the author and because I trust other people. Next up, we got Champion by Mary Lou. This is just to continue collecting for the series because I have Legend and now I just wanted to get the rest in the series, and it was there for $5, so why the hell not? So that is everything that I got yesterday. Now let's look at what I got earlier in the month. So first up, we have a thriller called Little White Lies by Philippa East. It says on the back here, addictive and incredibly tense. I couldn't put it down. Do you trust me? Anna White only looked away for a second, but that's all it took to lose sight of her young daughter. But 7 years later, Abigail is found. And as Anne struggles to connect with her teenage daughter, she begins to question how much Abigail remembers about the day she disappeared. ... So yeah, I just love the idea of this thriller. It's like pretty big text, not too long. And it had pretty good reviews and it was only like $4. So I figured, why not? Actually, a lot of these books have a tag on the back that says like $4, but I'm pretty sure the people at the charity shop literally just gave me the whole stack for like $10. So I don't think I paid full price for any of these books. Next, I got Now I Rise and I Darken by Kirsten White, which is the same author as The Gwenevere Deception. And I literally picked these up because of these covers. Like, I know nothing about this series. All I knew was that it was popular on Goodreads. It had stunning covers, and I recognized Kirsten White's name from everyone talking about The Gwenevere Deception. So that is literally the only reason why I bought these. But like, look at those covers. They are amazing. But But yes, have you read this series? Do you think I'll like it? Let me know, because I did see mixed reviews, but mostly positive. Then I managed to get the entire Akane series in great condition for like $2 each. So pretty stoked about that. Again, collecting a whole series without even having read the first one yet, but have only heard really good things about Lynette Noni and about this series itself. So we're doing it. We're jumping in. We're getting all four. Another bookstagram made me buy it. Girls of Paper and Fire by Natasha Nagan. This one I read the like byline of at the back. I usually don't read too much into the synopsis if it's one that I recognize or have seen everywhere and I just have FOMO on. But I read the back and it says here, each year, 8 beautiful girls are chosen as paper girls to serve the king. It's the highest honor they could hope for and the most demeaning. This year, there's the 9th, and instead of paper, she's made of fire. So that's all I need to know. This cover is stunning. This book is popular. I had FOMO. Byline says good things and it was like $1. So I have a problem. And the last two that I acquired in the month of February, I mean, February's not over yet. There's still 4 days left in the month, but I don't plan on buying any more books, is 2 more books to add to a series that I had been collecting, which is Dark Flame and Everlasting, which is part of the Immortal Series by Alison Noel. Again, haven't even read book 1 in the series, but they were $1 each, and I had book 1 and book 2 and book 3. And this is book 5 and book 6, I think. So I still do need to get Shadowland, I think is the last one in the series I need to get. Yeah, because I've got, oh no, sorry. I've got Evermore, Blue Moon, Dark Flame, and Everlasting, but I don't have Shadowland or Night Star. So I still need to get 2 more in the series, but it's a problem once I start collecting the series. Even if I haven't read the first one, I want to collect the rest of them when I'm at a secondhand shop and they're $1 each. I can't help it. So there you have it. I'm not going to try and pick that stack up. It is too big. Like it just won't happen. So imagine me holding a giant stack of books here and struggling, which will probably end up being the thumbnail because I'll do that at the end anyways. But yes, that is the amazing haul that I got in February. And all of those books in total cost me $75. That isn't, I only spent $75 on books this month. So, I mean, that's pretty good for the stack that I got. I'm pretty stoked. I got some pretty good new, like fairly new releases. Like a lot of these aren't too backlist. And there's some series that I've been trying to get for a while. So I'm pretty stoked with my haul. What do you think? Let me know in the comments down below. And until next time, if you don't have anything to say, as usual, if you don't have anything to say and you just want to drop something in the comments below, leave your favorite emoji in the comment. I won't tell you what you have to leave today. You can leave one, whatever you want. Until next time, guys, thank you so much for watching. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. Have a great weekend. And until next time, happy reading.